It was a chilly Thursday evening in early March, and the city skyline glowed under a blanket of fading sunlight. The streets bustled with the usual rush, cars honking, people weaving through traffic, neon signs flickering on one by one. In a tall glass building downtown, Daniel sat hunched over his desk, eyes glued to the blue glow of his computer screen. The office was nearly empty now, save for the hum of the air conditioning and the distant sound of a vacuum cleaner 2 floors down. Daniel was a man of ambition. Just 35 days, he'd climbed the corporate ladder with determination, fueled by dreams of providing his family with the best life possible. He told himself it was all for them, his wife, Anna, and their 10-year-old daughter, Mia. Yet, as the years passed, Daniel found himself sinking deeper into the quicksand of deadlines and late nights, always promising that he'd make it up to them tomorrow. That Thursday was supposed to be different. Anna had called him at noon, her voice gentle yet excited. "Don't forget, love, it's family dinner tonight. Mia's been talking about it all week. She even picked out your favorite dessert." Daniel smiled at the sound of her voice, picturing her and Mia bustling in the kitchen, flour in their hair, laughter echoing through the house. He promised he'd be home by 7, but as the clock ticked past 8, Daniel was still at his desk, his phone buzzing silently in his pocket. Each time he glanced at the screen, he saw missed calls and simple messages. "We're waiting for you!" And "Dinner's getting cold." He responded with rushed apologies, typing out, "Just 1 more hour, I promise." At home, Anna set the table with the good plates, lighting a candle in the center, just as Mia had asked. The little girl sat at her place, fidgeting with her napkin, eyes darting to the clock. The smell of roasted chicken filled the small apartment, mingling with the sweet scent of Anna's homemade apple pie. Mia had made a card for her father, crayon hearts and stick figures holding hands, waiting by his plate. Time stretched thin as they waited. Anna tried to keep Mia's spirits up, telling stories about when she and Daniel had first met. But as the food cooled and the candle burned low, the laughter faded, replaced by silence and disappointment. Eventually, Anna tucked Mia into bed, brushing away quiet tears. The card still sat on the table, unopened. It was nearly midnight when Daniel finally slipped in through the door, exhausted and weighed down by guilt. The apartment was dark and quiet. He walked into the kitchen to find the remains of dinner: cold plates, untouched pie, and a handmade card addressed to Daddy. He opened it, reading Mia's careful handwriting. "I love you, Daddy. I can't wait to eat dinner with you tonight." In that moment, the cost of his choices hit Daniel with crushing clarity. He thought of all the times he'd said later or tomorrow, of the birthdays he'd missed, the soccer games he'd skipped, each moment slipping away like sand through his fingers. The realization was sharp, almost physical, a deep ache he couldn't ignore. That night, Daniel sat alone at the kitchen table, the weight of regret pressing down on him. He understood, perhaps for the first time, that time was not a currency he could earn back. Success in the boardroom meant little if it came at the expense of those who loved him most. The next morning, Daniel woke before dawn. He brewed coffee and made pancakes, just the way Mia liked them. Extra syrup, a sprinkle of chocolate chips. When Anna woke, she found him at the table, a vase of fresh flowers beside Mia's card. Daniel apologized, words tumbling out, raw and honest. He promised to do better, not just to say it, but to show it. Over breakfast, they talked openly. Anna shared how lonely it felt to prepare family meals for one less person. Mia, in her gentle way, asked if Daddy could come to her school play next week. Daniel nodded, tears glistening in his eyes, swearing silently that he would never let work rob him of these moments again. As the days turned into weeks, Daniel made small but deliberate changes. He left his office on time, silencing his phone during dinners. He walked Mia to school whenever he could, listening to her stories about math tests and playground adventures. On weekends, they explored the city together. Museum visits, park picnics, afternoons spent flying kites. It wasn't always easy. There were still tough days at work, urgent calls, and deadlines. But Daniel learned to draw boundaries, to protect the sacred time he shared with his family. He realized that presence was the greatest gift he could offer. The laughter at the dinner table, the quiet comfort of a bedtime story, the simple act of being there. Slowly, the hurt of that missed dinner faded, replaced by new memories. Meals shared, jokes told, hugs exchanged. Anna's smile grew brighter, and Mia's laughter filled their home once more. The card remained on the fridge, a gentle reminder of the lesson Daniel had learned, that time, once lost, is gone forever. Years later, Daniel would look back on that night as a turning point. He remembered the ache of regret, but more so, he cherished the sweet moments he'd reclaimed. He became a fixture in his family's life, not just a name on a paycheck or a presence in photographs, but a living, loving part of their everyday world. The story of Daniel's missed family dinner is a familiar one, echoing in countless homes where work and ambition threaten to overshadow what truly matters. In the pursuit of providing for those we love, it's easy to lose sight of the simple joys, the shared meals, the quiet conversations, the laughter echoing through the halls. It's a reminder to all of us that time is the most precious resource we possess. Unlike money or accolades, it cannot be saved, earned, or replaced. Each moment spent with loved ones is a treasure, a memory in the making. When we choose to be present, to set aside our phones and worries, we give the gift of ourselves, our attention, our love, our presence. The cost of time is measured not in missed meetings, but in missed milestones. It's the empty seat at the dinner table, the unopened card, the quiet tears of a child waiting for a promise kept. Yet the lesson is not one of regret, but of hope, that it is never too late to change, to choose differently, to show up for those who matter most. Daniel's journey is a testament to the power of reflection and the courage to change. It's about recognizing the moments that slip by unnoticed, the bedtime stories left untold, the family photos missing one smile, the laughter that could have been. It's about reclaiming those moments, making the conscious decision to be present, to say yes to family, even when work whispers otherwise. In a world that prizes productivity and success, it's easy to equate worth with achievement. But true success is found in the relationships we nurture, the love we give and receive, the memories we create with those who share our lives. The most meaningful legacy we leave is not in titles or bank accounts, but in the hearts of those we love. For anyone who has ever missed a family dinner, skipped a birthday, or postponed a heartfelt conversation, Daniel's story is a gentle call to action. It invites us to pause, to reflect on what truly matters, to make space for the people and moments that bring us joy. It reminds us that perfection is not the goal, presence is. So, the next time work threatens to pull you away, remember the table set with care, the child waiting with hope, the partner holding space for you. Remember that time is a gift, fleeting and precious, meant to be shared with those who make life meaningful. Choose to show up, to be present, to savor the laughter and love found in everyday moments. In the end, it's not the missed meetings or the late-night emails that we remember, but the warmth of family, the comfort of shared meals, the simple joy of being together. Let Daniel's story be a lantern, lighting the way back to what matters most. May it inspire you to protect your time, to cherish your loved ones, and to create memories that will last a lifetime. For in the tapestry of life, it is the threads of love and presence that hold it all together. And as you sit down with your family tonight, let the clatter of forks and the hum of conversation remind you of the true cost of time and the immeasurable value of being there in every precious, fleeting moment.